Hi, welcome to the Fiat Ministry Show, episode 24, recorded August 11th, 2013, with our guest, Matt Swaim, the producer of the Sunrise Morning Show on the EWTN radio network. He will be talking about his Fiat moment and also the Sunrise Morning Show and his book that was written with him and his wife, Your College Faith, Own It. Enjoy. Welcome to the Fiat Ministry Show, episode 24. Welcome back from the summer. It's been a great summer. I've been off, but I came back. I got great guests throughout the month and great guests tonight. I'm really excited about the guests tonight, and uh, it's been a lot of new things going on. I want to let everybody know that if you want to get into the chat room, right at the stream, there's a click me to go right into the chat room and jump in. I'm lonely. I want people in. So please come into the chat room. It would be great to, any kind of questions, comments you have, please let us know. Um, Tonight's guest is Matt Swaim from the Sunrise Morning Show on EWTN Network Radio, and I'm really excited about having him. And we'll get to him in about a minute or two. Let me just get some of the book work done. And number one, follow us on Twitter. You can go to our Facebook page. Everything is right there. Welcome, Jay, to the chat room. I appreciate you coming in and watching, and hopefully you enjoyed tonight's show. Let me know if anything's going wrong or going well. That that helps me too. The bad stuff also helps. But so please go to the Facebook page, the Fiat Ministry. We have a YouTube channel also. You can go and reach us there. Uh, we're jumping into 24/7 stream, kind of like radio, but video. You can see me 24/7. We'll have archived shows. We'll have some upcoming events throughout the day. But join the live stream and you can watch old shows. Forteza, uh, Forteza, thank you for coming to the very first show again. And we're gonna have to edit a lot. But um, like I said again, go to the Facebook page and also go to the chat like everybody hopefully is doing now. It's great to see. And we are. Uh, Gonna do just a quick prayer and then I will get to Matt. Let's just in the name of Father, Son, Holy Spirit, Amen. Lord, thank you for tonight, and thank you for all even the problems that we have. That you help us to solve as something of this tonight. Lord, thank you for Matt and his work with EWTN and all the people that work with him and just beside him. It's a beautiful way to start the day, and that's what I enjoy every morning. And thank you for everyone that's watching and will be watching. Just thank you just for everything that we can do tonight. The ability to do this, to have the technology to let people know about their faith and let other people know about how people go through their paths of faith and how they walk through with you, and just give us tonight the right words to say, and in your name we pray. In the name of Father, Son, Holy Spirit, Amen. And Jay, again, welcome back. We're gonna have to do some editing at the beginning, but I'm gonna get right to Matt because he's been waiting, and I'm gonna jump right over to Matt and give him hopefully the proper intro that he deserves. Uh,
Don't give me what I deserve, please.
Well, you do deserve it. So, Matt Swain, of course, as you see, he is the producer of the Sunrise Morning Show with Brian Patrick and with News Anna Mitchell. And it, like the words say in the their little music skit, start your day a better way. I say a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day every time to listen and learn so much about uh, everything about our Catholic faith through this um, venue. He's also a book writer, and together with his wife Colleen, they wrote uh, our Your College Faith, Own It, and we will be talking about that later
My wife
today.
Colleen is just sneaking past me, by the way. You filled a glass of
You're
what?
allowed to
It's
say it's live. I don't have any makeup. I'm like sweating, but
makeup. I
you
work
don't
in
need
radio,
makeup.
dude. Who needs makeup?
I know but and so he's also been on the journey home. He's been just a great place, just a welcome for just learning about your faith. He's also been a guest host at Catholic Answers. So welcome, Matt, to the Fiat Ministry show. And
Hey, it's great to be a part of this podcast. I guess it's episode 24.
yes,
This is a big deal.
yeah,
When I've thought about being on, 24, I thought, how can I possibly live up to Kiefer Sutherland's, legacy? But I'm happy to be a part of this, and I'm happy that you're continuing to carry on your broadcasts.
well, and I know this is one thing that I really enjoy, and I hear a lot. Just a little side note with what you do in the morning is just before we get into your Fiat moments. Uh, Baseball. I hear a little bit of the Reds and with the Indians, and I honestly I know this
You
is
hear much less of the Indians than you do of the Reds.
I know. We are definitely 7 games away. We're out of it, but you are actually in the wild card right now. I
We
have
are.
checked that.
We're
I have
five and a
checked
half
that.
games, I believe, ahead in the wild card, above the Diamondbacks. So
Right. That's
we're going to take what we can get.
I want anything. As up in Geneva, we and in Cleveland, we just I mean, but the nice thing for me is I'm actually from Erie, PA. I can actually
Okay,
jump over to the Pittsburgh bandwagon. But anyways, but
sure, and you can mourn the Buffalo Bills losses too.
yeah, right, right.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, this time of year is when Cleveland is really trying to get a lot of good money trading pitchers and
right.
infielders to competitive teams. So I don't know who you've got to sell this year,
We
but
don't have we're not selling that much, so yeah,
yeah,
it's but we're trying. We're still working on the wild card, but anyways, I had to get that in. I hear that in and out of the
sure,
show,
sure.
but your Fiat moment. First off, a little background of yourself, and how did you get to this point in your faith with Jesus? What helped you to say yes to Christ, and you continue to say yes?
Well, for for everyone who has become Catholic, I think that there's a number of moments that it's hard to pin things down to really say this was the time or that was the time. I can remember that as a young evangelical in 1987, I prayed the sinner's prayer, and that was when I really, moved forward as a young born again Christian, and that was, 1987. I was 7 years old, so there's only so much you can understand that you're consenting to, and I'm glad that I did that, but there were other times that things kind of started to make sense for me. particularly from an artistic perspective. When I was a young evangelical, I thought of things very much in a quid pro quo perspective, in a very much, you know, if then statement, you know, programmatic perspective. There is a very much functional aspect to my understanding of theology. That I was very pragmatic, very practical. And then my world kind of got rocked by art,
Mm.
um, by beauty. And I found that the house of beauty was in the Catholic Church. And that led me to understand that there was a little bit more to life than just, putting pieces together. There was this understanding that I came to embrace that helped me to get the fact that something can be beautiful just because.
Mm.
And there was not that in my, I guess, super pragmatic view of the world previous to that. So I got the sense that, God made stuff beautiful almost without any practical reason.
Mm.
And yet there was this practical reason to it because it led me to the understanding that beauty is truth. I think it's Dostoevsky who says, that beauty will save the world.
Mm.
And I don't know if it's going to save the world, but it saved me. You know, in the sense that I understood that there were things that were beautiful because beauty was important and not because it could accomplish, moving from point A to point B on some pragmatic level. Um, I know that's really abstract, but for me, that kind of connected on a level that I don't know, no apologetic argument was ever able to connect with me prior to that.
Huh. Well, I mean, because I'm not. I know you were with just watching, and I let everybody know that the Journey Home actually episode that you're on is on YouTube,
Mhm.
and that's how I caught it. And you were all over, with Methodists and trying to find, moving around, and
Sure.
what the arts and what you're, the beauty that you see in everything that you were, it's a more of a, you have to comprehend what you're trying to figure out as truth, and you see all this beauty
Mm.
in the arts or anything that you see. That what helped you to kind of say, okay, I want a path that the Catholic Church has, and what you know you get with the fullness of the truth with the Catholic Church compared to maybe some other
Yeah.
denominations.
You want the one word answer or the paragraph answer?
The one word. I apologize. I know you got to get up early, so you could go for the one
Oh, yeah,
word.
the one word answer is Chesterton. Um,
Ah.
you know, whose cause is being, considered for for sainthood at the moment. But gosh, when you start to read, and this was the problem for me, is that I was working at an unnamed Christian bookstore, and I read a few books that referenced some really solid classic works of Christian theology, and I tried to find these books. Um, and as I went through the archives and the special order houses of this bookstore where I was working, trying to find these classic works that were being referenced by all these great books that were, flying off the shelves, I found out that we couldn't order any of them.
Hmm.
The reason being that, as I eventually came to understand, they were Catholic. I mean, we could find Confessions by Augustine. We could find Thomas A. Kempis' Imitation of Christ without the chapter on the Eucharist. And
Mm.
we could find some other stuff, but when it came down to some of the major works of classic Christian theology, I mean, I couldn't get John Chrysostom. I couldn't get Basil or Gregory or any of these other guys. I mean, I could get snippets, but
Mhm.
finding out that these were the dudes who were just a couple of generations removed from the apostles,
Mm.
and finding out the kind of life that they were leading that was so consistent with Scripture and also so consistent with other theologians who had come right around the time that the apostles were dying off, and finding that continuous line of great theology, love for Christ, love for God the Father, inspiration of the Holy Spirit, and seeing that this is the continuation of Christianity. I mean, Christianity didn't die with the apostles and then revive itself during the
Right.
Reformation.
Mhm.
It was going the whole time,
Mhm.
and and that for me was a real eye opener because, well, I mean, when I was really starting to dig into my faith, um, for the first time, to try and own it, I picked up a lot of kind of apocalyptic, you know, literature, a lot of, how does the book of Revelation play out in modern society? I mean, because that was what was appealing, because this is where the explosions are. And if you're a teenage dude,
Mm.
you know, you want to find out where the fire and brimstone is. I mean,
Right.
that's the most appealing part. And finding out that that's the kind of stuff that's not even been present in Christian theology in its current form until maybe 200 years ago, you start to realize, this is kind of a reach.
Yeah. No, and no, and that's a great. And if anyone has any questions, please feel free to ask. And that's a great point of, and the other thing is own it. With the title of your book too. I think you need to know what is for us, practical sometimes in the sense of what's going on in right now to understand we need to know our faith. And sometimes that when we're, young and kind of like, okay, give me something really, good, really that means
Real.
something,
Yeah.
that really a factor that will affect
Yeah.
us. And I think that's sometimes tough for the young, somewhat the young generation. And I know World Youth Day that just came by. It's a
Yeah.
huge, 3 million people came, and it's just a beautiful thing to see. And what you're saying is you need. It was funny that you could not get fed where you were working. You could not get fed what
Yeah.
you were searching out. And and that's one thing about the Catholic Church. It'll feed you. And it literally will feed you. And figure, yeah,
Right, exactly. Yeah, I mean, with the sacraments. I
right.
mean, but here's the thing. We had someone on very recently, and this is a horrible, tragic story of a priest who committed suicide in Milwaukee, and
Mm.
there he was administering the sacraments, and on a daily basis, and yet he despaired of his own life. You wonder how many people walk up the line to communion and don't even have a clue what it is that they're receiving,
Mm.
in the sacraments. And to me, that was kind of a wake up call as I was, reading this story and you to prepare and to talk about it. I mean, the sacraments aren't a guarantee that you're going to be absolutely immune from
Mm,
temptation, from despair, from loneliness, from any of that. Uh, you gotta walk up prepared. You gotta walk up to communion, you know, kind of trying to put your head around what it is that's happening up there on the altar. Um, I mean, you gotta own it. I mean,
hmm
I hate to sound cheesy. I hate to, play off, the book, but you gotta really own it. I
hmm
mean, you really do.
Right.
Otherwise, you're just walking up like anybody else who's headed off to a soccer game, or you know doing it whatever they happen to. I mean, mowing the lawn. I mean, it's so easy to lose perspective.
Yeah.
um I know it is for me. I mean, I'm
No,
sure
hey,
that
yeah, sure.
others feel the same way, but for me it's very easy to like be caught up in the fact that my kid's making too much noise, or that I've got to clean out the fridge or mow the lawn, or you name it.
hmm
I mean, the sacraments are not a guarantee that you're going to be superstitiously protected from you know the dark lord of the universe. I mean,
Yeah.
you got to be prepared.
Right, right, right. And that's one thing it's tough for, and just using the sacraments and using everything that what we have, we take it for granted, or we, push it to the side. It's like,
Yeah,
and so we need to own it. Like I mean, and it's a great, I mean, the book, I'm gonna pick. I'll go to the sunrise more, and really, please everybody go and check out the book. We'll talk about it right after the break, but or we'll talk about the sunrise morning show and then we'll talk about the book. We'll get it organized. I had show notes. I know what I was doing, but
you're a
I
step ahead of me.
but it's true. We need to own it, and I like how we can use that as the um, kind of the words that we need to take from this interview is to own our faith, to own it, and to take it every day, and don't push it to the side. And that's what it shows. What you do, in your work, just you know, giving us so much, fed material. So we will take a small break. First off, go to the sunrisemorningshow.com and go to the Mystic Monk Coffee. But after you get the
It's
coffee
good stuff.
there, come over to the Fiat Ministry to get a refill, or just go, maybe go and get two things. So just like help both of us out. But we're gonna try this. This is my first time again back to playing uh, a little promo, and just we're gonna be right back, and we're gonna be talking about the Sunrise Morning Show. What what is a producer? I wanted to be a producer, but
I
talk
ask
about
myself this question every day.
and just a little bit of a we're gonna talk about with Matt, just a normal day, being the producer, and like tomorrow the host, and also his uh, uh, book, College Faith, Own It, um, and so yeah, and so we will jump over to this and let's play it. Hi, it's Ken from the Fiat Ministry. I want to let everybody know about Mystic You're
Monk
not.
Coffee,
Yeah, let me.
the monks of Wyoming. They have great coffee and teas on their website. Go to fiatministry.org and click on their logo, and you can go directly to their website and get some great coffees and teas and help out their monastery and also help out the Fiat Ministry. So enjoy a cup of coffee and let's get back to the show. So, I mean, check out. Hopefully, everybody got to hear that, and um,
please check out Mystic Monk Coffee on our website also. But please, definitely, I rather you go to the Sunrise Morning Show and go to them first, and then come to us. They're just, I mean, I I listened to it on one time on their radio show, and so I just wanted to be I wanted to be part of that, and so uh, if you want to help me out with the Fiat ministry, that would be great. But please go to Sunrise Morning Show, and we'll um, get back and just we're gonna next talk to Matt about the uh, being the producer of the Sunrise Morning Show. And uh, Matt, is there something that a normal day as the producer, what you're doing, even like a host, is there a big difference? Is there what is there something? First, maybe a little, a little bit about where the start of the Sunrise Morning Show is and where you're out of, and
Sure. Well, to quote Doc Holliday from the movie Tombstone, there's no normal life. There's just life. And in the same way, there's no normal Sunrise Morning Show prep day. There's just Sunrise Morning Show prep day.
Okay.
There are certain guests that we have on a weekly basis. This Week in Catholic History, Bible Foods, um, movie reviews with Stephen Gradanis,
Mm.
information on the job search from a Catholic perspective, stuff like that you kind of have sort of in place. But there are also some really neat opportunities to connect with all kinds of things. News from the pro-life movement that's constantly happening and happening even more so with the advent of all kinds of crazy laws that are affecting the pro-life movement.
Mm.
It's kind of fun in the sense that it's never quite set in stone until I roll in. I roll in about 4ish in the morning. Um, so, the reason I roll in at 4 o'clock in the morning is because our meteorologist calls in at 4:36 without fail every morning to record his both local and national
Ah,
forecasts. As a matter of fact, Larry Hanley, who's a great guy, he has been doing this for us pro bono for the past 6 years. And we are the only national forecast that he records.
oh
Uh,
wow.
so Larry, and I'm gonna out him right now, is not a Catholic.
Okay.
He's a very strong evangelical Christian
Okay.
with a deep love for Christ, who has been doing this for us, out of the goodness of his heart since I've been doing this, which to me, speaks volumes about the kind of dude Larry Hanley is.
Yeah.
And then, we if you look at the show, the way we kind of put it together is like an iTunes playlist.
Mm.
We've got all the elements set in stone, the breaks, the interviews. A lot of them are live. A few of them are pre-recorded. The trick is with drive time, people go to work at the same time every day.
Mm.
They're on the road for the same 45 minutes every day,
Right.
or what have you. They go home at a different time every day.
Yeah.
So when you've got to be at work, but you don't know when you're going to get off of work.
Right.
So that kind of colors the way that we schedule segments. I mean, obviously, you're going to hear. I mean, if you're sitting at home listening to all 3 hours of the show, you're gonna catch something that you heard a day or two ago.
Hmm.
Um, but if you're just kind of the workaday person who's trying to insert Catholicism into their daily grind, we hope to try and give people something fresh.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, it's a challenge, but it's also a gift. I mean,
Yeah.
I really enjoy. I mean, we've talked to some really interesting people, um, and barring political seasons, I really like talking to almost everybody we have on.
Yeah. Yeah. That I mean, that's what I honestly I'll tell you that I mean, this is my I've always wanted to be a producer and I love
Sure.
the
Well, you are.
radio.
Look at what you're doing.
Well, and but it's great with what you love and you have a passion for your faith and you're working. It's almost like it's easy. I mean, this is a passion. This is not work. I mean, and I know I've heard this, and you
Don't
probably,
don't make the mistake of thinking this is easy.
well, no, yeah,
Dude,
it's not.
I could
No, yeah, yeah.
there's some crazy stuff that goes on behind the scenes.
Oh, no, yeah, and that's what I was gonna get to because we were talking earlier in the week about just doing the checking out the connection, and it's not really the on-time air. It's everything off air. I mean, there is a lot of work, and if you have, like you were saying, someone that, backs down on an interview and you're trying to fill time, and Brian needs something to go by and help him through the that time. Uh, but man, it's gotta be so rewarding. And now EWTN has something that they can put on their radio every morning, and we can get the local, or the national, what's going on in the church, uh, and it's great, and then knowing parts of what's going on with our faith, and like you're saying, I have an hour drive, so I'm listening to the the whole hour to my
I
work.
pity you.
I I enjoy it. That's what I wanted you on. And so it's great. It shows, and Brian just is just so you feel so comfortable with all
Well,
of
he's a
you.
pro. I mean, he's been in morning drive, in the business. He was on the TV side for probably
Mm,
25 years.
mhm,
Um, so I mean, he really has eh, the uh, the background, the professionalism. I mean, and that's the way with a lot of people who are trying to, kind of break into to EWTN's TV and radio stuff. But the thing is that okay, here's why I love Mother Angelica.
hmm,
She opened the door for so many people.
mm,
She was willing to, you know, make fishing lures and sell them at Protestant softball tournaments, to get the cash to do what she did with EWTN. And I think that there would be no such thing as Catholic podcasters, as Catholic Skypers, as all this other stuff, if she hadn't put it all on the line
mm,
and really thrown herself into the mix.
mhm.
Um, because I can tell you right now that I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing if there wasn't the Mother Angelica precedent.
Right.
Um, I mean, I don't know if you can speak for yourself, but I mean, maybe you had another inspiration in the mix, but for me, okay, so uh, we're getting into true confession mode. In my um, advanced television class in college, um, I was doing we all had to do a live broadcast, and mine was a fake telethon. I had to
Okay.
produce a fake telethon for, I mean, that's the card that I drew. Um,
Okay.
a fake telethon for my final advanced television project. And it was the Harry Beavis crusade against spiral choral iptherumatitis, a fake disease we made up. Um, and so I had this telethon against this fake disease. And I had this friend of mine uh, who wanted to do this camera shot that he was just obsessed with. It involved him lying on his back and facing up towards a guitar during this musical number. His camera went out. There was no way for us to connect to it, and it was in the it was in the penultimate moment of this advanced television project. And so I had a fixed camera focus in on this wall of cameras uh, that had basically every cable channel on. It was, the grid of cameras, if you've ever seen that, where it's got CBS, ABC,
Mm.
NBC, I mean, it was like a 12 camera grid.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember distinctly saying, seeing the end of the rosary that Mother Angelica did on EWTN, where they have that picture of Jesus with the kind of the peace be with you stance,
Yeah.
and saying, as everything was falling apart during this directing debut of mine, focus on Jesus. And this dude was focusing on Jesus. And so the last like 30 seconds of my epic disaster catastrophe TV project involved Mother Angelica and her closing of the rosary. And I didn't think anything of it at the time.
Yeah.
But ever since I've been working for EWTN, I've thought to myself, man, that was a defining moment, and I didn't even know it. Here I was, you know, focusing in on the rosary
Yeah.
and focusing in on Mother Angelica, and I thought I was just trying to save face on this random satirical Protestant TV project.
Yeah. No, that's I I mean, man, that it kind of feels like what I at the beginning of I mean, there's so many things that affect I can't imagine, especially doing this. I mean, I'm not a pro, and a class like that, and to bring Mother Angelica, who, like you said, we would not. I mean, honestly, I mean, I would probably do some, but to see what she had, and I
Right,
mean, the vision. She knew what she wanted to see. It just had to take time. It's always that passion that builds and builds and builds, and now look at this network that you got. I mean, it's world known. It wish it was on more. Bring in more of the ABCs, CBSs, and all those other stations, and bring in some of this content that we don't get to hear unless we're listening or watching,
right.
and it's just so great to see. On just a quick question because I'm a big fan of Catholic answers. I know I'm jumping off of topic, but
So am I.
no, but
I can't believe they let me be a part of their action.
I I have I mean, what is it like to do Catholic Answers? Like what I mean, as just a get as a listener, I am blown away by some of the people that are on there. I know the questions are so all over, but to be able to like I mean, I'm not that good with my, knowing my answers of my Catholic faith, and they need to know it right there and then. I mean, what is it like
Dude,
compare?
Tim Staples is it has burned his way through purgatory like a crazy man. That's all I can really say definitively about Catholic answers. Um, what I what I will say also, in addition to that, is that man, the generosity of spirit that exists in that operation is pretty impressive.
Hmm.
Um, I mean, they are willing to take on pretty much anything. I've sat there and seen the the call screen board where they put up all the questions that are in line,
Yeah.
and it's very rare that they say, let's take this one off air. They very much are interested in engaging what people are interested in engaging. I
Hmm.
mean, they have the non-Catholic forums, they have the former Catholic forums, they have the all atheist forums, they have, my gosh, I mean, when Sister Rosalind Moss
Yeah.
is on, or Father Vincent Serpa, who I very often
Yeah.
am filling in when they're on. I mean, they have some people who've got some real serious issues,
Yeah.
who want to hash it out, and sometimes you can engage it. Sometimes you're like, listen, I don't want to put your dirty laundry out in public because what you've got going on is serious.
Yeah.
Um, but the fact that they're willing to even put that out there, um, as a conversation starter, I think to me is a real testament to their generosity of spirit, to their a willingness to engage. I
Hmm.
mean, if you listen on, yeah, I mean, Patrick Coffin, I mean, let's be honest,
Yeah.
is the has the worst dad humor of any Catholic radio personality besides myself. Um, but when they face him with a crazy question, he's usually pretty solid about
Yeah.
you know parsing it and saying, "Hey, listen, I know you just told me something that's insane. Let
Right.
me make it normal
Yeah.
and give it to Jimmy Aiken."
Right. No, yeah, that's exactly, yeah. I know, it's amazing. I just blown away, and I love driving home to listening to it too. So I have the both. Those are the shows that I can catch you on. Anything I and Matt, I again, we're going to get to your and your wife Colleen's book now, and I'm going to bring up the actual book. Your
Ah,
college faith, own it, like we're talking about tonight. What what can you give? Is there anything that you can give about the book? I mean, especially uh, now that people are going back to college and people are going back to school and people are just going in sense sometimes going back to work with teachers or and owning your faith in any sense is great, but can you give him a little bit of background of the book?
sure. Well, the whole purpose of it is to kind of look at some of the challenges to uh, living your Catholic faith on a college campus. I think that there are certain people who are wanting us to use this as an opportunity to blast bad Jesuit universities for their
Mm.
horrible theology. That's not what we really wanted to do
Okay.
with this. We wanted to kind of give, kind of a snapshot of a lot of different areas of life, that are going to be affected by adjusting to a college campus. Everything to from budgeting, like
Mm.
the idea of how do you give when you don't have any money,
Yeah.
um, to time management, to the idea of you know dorm ethics. A lot of even Catholic campuses have co-ed dorms, and how do you deal with that?
Yeah.
Um, how do you deal with the ideas, related to um, things like wandering into some random person's dorm room and seeing a movie on screen that you don't know how to deal with morally. How do you walk away? How do you know, deal with video game use and the
Mm.
temptation that poses in the dorms? I mean, there's all kinds of stuff that you just get faced with that, is not. I mean, maybe it's part of your experience as a high schooler, but you know, it gets intensified
Mm.
as a college kid. I actually, every time someone asks me about this, I always, ask them back. So, Kent, I'm going to ask you,
Okay.
uh, how many of your middle school friends do you keep in touch with?
Not too many, honestly.
Not too many.
No.
How about how many high school friends do you keep in touch with?
I honestly, as a father of two, I don't. I don't. I
Okay,
don't.
how many college friends do you keep in touch with?
Maybe one or two. I'm not that many.
That's better than the other categories.
Right.
But it goes to show that those times are kind of formative, and you have those shared experiences
Right.
that lead you to think, maybe they get my deal,
Yeah.
in a way that my middle school friends don't and my high school friends don't.
Yeah.
And and this is actually the strategy of a lot of campus ministries, of a lot of campus organizations, is to make sure that they make an emotional and social connection with you
Hmm.
in those first days of being on campus,
Right.
uh, because they understand that this is a time in your life when big things are happening. You're discerning your vocation. You're finding out who you're going to marry.
Mhm.
you
Yeah.
know, there's kind of a lot of stuff to deal with emotionally and socially. So,
Right.
um, if a campus social coordinator is going to pick up on that, then why shouldn't we as the church pick up on that?
Right. And it's one of those things that I did. I mean, college for me, I went to a quote unquote Catholic um in Erie, or
Don't name
actually,
names if you don't have to.
yeah, I'm not gonna give the names, but anyways, it was tough to see when you're around just the atmosphere, and you want to be, you know, and that point of my life, I was not into my faith. I fell away from my faith for almost 14 years and came back
Sure.
through friends, and and it was actually from after college, and but with now thinking about it, some high school friends that were being friends throughout my, off and on, helped me to find my faith again. And I think a lot of times we need uh, you know people that are like-minded, and college is a very, like, there's so many things that you're trying to think, what you want to do, like you're saying,
Sure.
getting married, uh, career, and so much, and faith kind of drifts to the wayside, and hopefully this book can help people, when they are, in college, or getting to college, or even, I mean, the high schools, and middle schools, and just read and learn a little bit about what we need to do as
Yeah.
Catholics, and in situations of, being in different uh, areas that aren't religiously prone. I
Sure.
guess so.
Well, it's always been kind of like bizarre to me that Catholic schools would have like world religions classes for
Yeah.
kids who are like too young to even understand what Catholicism is.
Hmm.
Uh,
Yeah.
they give
Right.
them the palate um, after not having given them the basis on which to respond to those religions. And when you get to college, I mean, my gosh, I mean, I went to an evangelical college, but even then, there's kind of a weird culture of this idea that there are some professors out there who kind of glory themselves in the fact. I mean, they really, I mean, for lack of a better way of putting it, get off on the fact that they can tell people who haven't had a very good formation that everything you've ever been taught is a lie.
Lie. Right. Yes.
and
No. Yes.
and
That's.
and I think we've all been there. Whether it's a history class or I mean, not usually a math class, or a literature class or a theology class. And the thing is that, you know what? Some of this stuff is true. It was purveyed badly. It was transmitted poorly. It was not communicated effectively, but it's still true. you know,
Yeah.
I
No. Yeah.
mean, that's I think what we have to kind of hold on to.
Oh no. Yeah.
And with the book, Your College Faith, Own It, that's kind of the intellectual segment um, of the book is kind of geared toward that, geared towards saying, listen, you may have been told this by an idiot, but that doesn't make it not true.
Right. No.
you know so I mean, the same thing on EWTN. You got this on low def. You got some kind of really poor programming, but that doesn't mean that Mother Angelica was a liar.
Right.
She's got it.
No. Yeah.
She
She
just
got.
doesn't have the money to transmit it through HD.
Right. Right. That's so. Exactly. That's so true. And help her, like you say, like Brian says, pray for her every day.
Exactly.
Um, and for Tessa said in the chat, God bless your talking to you and I guess to both of us, apostolate and ministry to our Catholic faith. You are both allowing God to use your time and talent and treasures for the church. Well done, good and faithful servants. So,
Digital high
thank
five.
high five out there. I definitely I can't do it. But so I know you got to get up so early. So I'm going to. Is there anything else that you want to promote or let everybody know about? I just want to.
Just I'd say just follow me on Twitter at Matt Swaim. I'm very likely to tweet something very nerdy back at you.
I I
That's all
will.
I've got.
That,
and make sure to support Fiat Ministry, Fiat underscore Ministry, because the good Lord knows we need more people out there doing new evangelization and everything that's going on, with people trying to be creative and promoting the gospel. So, Kent, I'm humbled to be a part of this, and I hope that others are as well.
Thank you, Matt. I really appreciate you on tonight, and I'll definitely. I apologize for the earlier technology problems, but
I
um,
apologize for whatever's going to happen tomorrow on the morning show.
but thank you. Get some rest. I will be listening. Hopefully, everybody else that's watching tonight or is watching archived, this will be archived. I will get this uh, edited. But please watch the Sunrise Morning Show with Matt Swain, Brian
If you can
Pat.
watch it on the radio, you're a better man than
Oh,
I.
I'm sorry. Listen to it. I'm so used to. Okay, listen to the Sunrise Morning Show. I'll try to do this again. I'm not. I am not. I had no classes doing this. Uh, Listen to the Sunrise Morning Show with Matt Swain, Brian Patrick, and Anna Mitchell. Please do that. And on the EWTN network, especially in Geneva, Ohio, 91.7 FM. And they were promoting everything that you were going to be on tonight.
Lamb of God, right?
Lamb of God Radio. So, Matt.
And my only regret, Kent, is that I don't have a green screen to match yours.
I I kind of like it. I'm gonna jump over there. It's nothing big. It's just simple. I don't want. I could go to. I have one that is in the St. Patrick's the at the in Rome, but I didn't want to
Uh,
get too. I didn't want to get too carried away
Not
tonight.
too
I
crazy
didn't
with the
want.
cheese
No,
whiz,
I
yeah.
don't. Yeah, right. But again, Matt, thank you. I will let you go. You've done so much, and enjoy. Oh, one more thing. I
Okay,
understand that uh, the anniversary of the Sunrise Morning Show is on Labor Day, right? In
that's well
2007.
Labor Tuesday.
Oh, Labor Day Tuesday. Okay, of Tuesday. Okay, but it's coming up. That's I guess is the best
It's
way to.
it's it's impending, yes.
Okay, okay. So okay, that's another exciting thing for the radio show. So that was it, and I will now let you go, and thank you. And I'm just gonna do a couple more things. Matt, if you need to go, I can let you go. If you're, I'm just gonna do one quick. Okay, you're good.
I'm good.
Okay. Um, Thank you to Matt. I really appreciate him coming on, Matt Swaim from the Sunrise Morning Show. Please check out listen to them. Don't watch me and listen to them. And just please, there's a couple things I just want to let you all know. We will have my sister-in-law Hannah Delot on next week, and then we'll also have on September 15th Sister Catherine Dietz from the Catholic or from the Erie Diocese. She will be talking about the chapel that is in the Mill Creek Mall in Erie, Pennsylvania. There's actually a chapel that you can go to say confession. So please check those shows out. If anyone is interested to come on to the show, be interviewed, talk about your faith, give you your fiat moment, please let me know. You can contact at fiatministry.org, and that's the email. Or there's YouTube, Facebook, whatever you want to do. But again, thank you. Sorry for the earlier streaming problems. I again thank you, Matt, and to everybody. Have a great and blessed week, and we will see you next Sunday night, 9 p.m. for the Fiat Ministry show. Good night and God bless.